Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mike from Formwin. I'm here to help you guys get your first engineering job. Today we're talking about engineering student professionalism. This is a key thing you guys need to focus on when becoming an engineering student, getting into any opportunity, or embarking on a new journey, project, you name it. These are 4 steps we're going to cover today. Let's get into it. Alright guys, as always, feel free to reach out to me if you need help with anything at all. My number is 305-923-8724. Again, 305-923-8724. I got your back. I'm here to answer any questions and help guide you through your journey because I'm sure there's lots of questions you have. I've been through it all. I got you. So now let's get into point number 1 here. This is growth versus fixed mindset. So this is very key in your journey, and a lot of people talk about this. I'm going to give you a little bit of a different spin on my definitions of growth and fixed. But you may know growth is having a nice mindset, open mindset, fixed as a closed mindset. I kind of view this as growth being you're looking for new opportunities, you're really working hard, and you're embracing personal development and growing every single day. So whenever you're in an opportunity as a student, whether that's a project, an internship, you name it, you need to be working a little bit harder than everyone else. So that's what I view growth as. Growth is you growing each day, not the growth mindset of being open to things. I want you to take that a step further and work harder than everyone else and start actually growing. Fixed, on the contrary, is just you being locked up, not working hard, not doing good, being average, and nobody wants to do that. I'm sure you have big goals and dreams and you're not going to get there by being fixed. So that's my definition of it, and that's the way that I perceive it whenever I hear people talking about that, because you don't want to just assume, okay, be more open instead of being closed off. You want to kind of take this to the next level. So that's what point number 1 is. If you guys start doing that, I promise you'll start seeing more results. All right, so number 2 is going to be promises. So this is another key one. The promises you keep within yourself as well as your coworkers. So we're going to say this is you, yourself, and then we're going to talk about coworkers or project mates or anyone you're doing stuff with. We'll call it 3 people. So for yourself, in terms of keeping promises to yourself, this is going to be key for having moral authority as well as just leading by example. Because if you make a promise to yourself and you don't keep it, such as turning in a project at 10 p.m. Let's say you want to turn a project in at 10 p.m. and you wind up not doing it because you're lazy or you choose not to, or for a reason that's within your control, then you're letting yourself down and you're not keeping the promise to yourself, so confidence is going to go down. So I'll write that. So confidence will go down. And we don't want that. We want confidence to go up. So set promises and keep them to yourself. If it's a hard promise and you kept it, or if it's a hard promise and you make that to yourself and then you keep it, that's how you actually grow. And that's kind of part of the growth mindset scheme here. But in terms of other people, other projects, you want to keep your word. You want to set promises, keep your word. You don't want to over-promise or under-promise. You want to find a nice sweet spot that works for you. For me, this is something that I've always struggled with because I always like to over-promise and then sometimes I under-deliver. This is something I'm actively working on. You guys need to work on this. Once you guys get that locked down and you start really kind of adding more value than you're taking away, then you're going to see that these promises are going to really yield you the results you're looking for. Next is going to be time management. Time management is going to be key here. So I'm going to draw a little bit of an example, but you guys need to manage your schedule however you need to manage it, but take a look at your peers, assess their schedule, and if they're not as busy as you, then don't just say, well, I'm doing better than them, so I don't need to worry about it. You need to get to the next group of people that are even busier than you are and figure out how you can be even better. So I'm going to just draw a little bit of a diagram for something that I went through. So pretend this is me during my college time, right? And then at the time I was vice president. So just put VP of AIAA. Okay. I had an internship. So I was an intern. Okay. I had school. A relationship. Okay, and then I had fitness. You guys get the point? And then I had a job. Okay? So imagine fitting all that into a schedule. I'm pretty sure I had more, but that's what I was thinking of for this example. So let's say we have this, right? I'm going to come over here. So I had all of this stuff going on, right? Let's say I wake up at 4 a.m. and then I need to go do all of this stuff and sleep by when? When am I sleeping? When is there time to sleep? Let's just say it's 12. Okay? Now, I'm going to let you guys do the math. I'm not going to draw this all out, but just for an example here, right? being VP of AIAA, there's meetings, there's work I have to do, so that's an hour, 2 hours every other day, you name it. And then I have my internship, so that there's a minimum amount of hours that I need to work. But you know me, I need to work a little bit harder and do a little bit extra. So that's where that comes in. School, you need to do schoolwork, go to class, figure that out, take exams, and then here you have your relationship. For me, that was a little bit different. So I lived close to school, and then she lived 30 minutes away, so I needed to drive 30 minutes to go see her, and then drive 30 minutes to take her home, and then from there drive another 30 minutes to go back to school. And I did that some different days. So that's just an example of me investing in the relationship. So doing that, that's as a large period of time during the day and during the week that I need to do that, right? And then the next thing is going to be fitness. Fitness is super important for me, and I believe at this time where I was doing all this stuff, I was preparing for a bodybuilding show. So imagine having to keep up with that schedule and work out super hard and go crazy with that. And I was working a job on the weekends. I was a birthday party host. So I was doing all of this stuff while still grinding and still working hard and looking to grow and finding mentors and going crazy. And how do you think you manage time management with this? I mean, starts here at whatever time it is and it goes here to whatever time it is. But with time management, you just need to work until the task is done. Sleep is important, and I take my sleep very seriously. And what I do is I catch up on a certain day of the week. I try to distribute as best as I can. But if there's a promise I need to keep with myself and I need to work hard and there's something that I need to get done and there's a goal that I need to get done, I'm going to make sure it gets done, because all this stuff needs to get done. All the stuff in your life needs to get done, and you need to make sure you're managing your time, keeping the promises to yourself, and constantly growing. All right, and the last one we're going to be talking about today is exiting situations. So this can be a project, an internship, you name it. I shouldn't have to say this, but typically with work situations, you want to give them plenty of notice, maybe 2 to 4 weeks. That's a good time frame to give people notice, especially if you have a key role on a project or an internship or something, or maybe like a role in a club or anything like that. Like, you want to give people notice. The more the merrier. I know someone, and then this is something that I would practice. I know someone that gave someone a year notice as an engineer. They're awesome. They set the standard, so that's why they give a year notice. Because if you give a year notice, you're giving the company time to find a replacement, for you to train that replacement, and for you to leave in good graces. The goal of exiting situations is to leave in good graces. You don't want to leave on bad terms, because you never know when you need to leverage that relationship further down the road. And during your time as an engineer, or during your time as a student, whatever these situations are, every relationship, every network, every connection you build, everything that you go through, you want to have a positive relationship through. And I didn't do this for a long time. And now just starting to do it over the last few years, I mean, it takes time to build these relationships and really have a genuine impact on people and leave things in a positive situation. That's going to build over time, and then that network you're building is going to overall increase, and that's going to add value to your life, because you can leverage that later on, and that's where the real connections, that's where the real value comes in, that's where the real net worth comes in. So that's why this is super important. You need to exit properly as needed and be sure you leave in a good situation.